So the very early spoilers for Boruto chapter 64 are finally here, courtesy of Organic Dinosaur on Twitter. As usual, a big shout out and thank you to her for providing us with all of these amazing content every month. So this time around, we are getting the things which I actually wanted to see from this chapter, and I'm just so damn happy about it. So moving forward, according to Organic Dinosaur, this chapter is divided in the following section. About 32% of this chapter is dedicated to Boruto and his Kage Bunshins versus Code. This is going to be like the precursor to their actual battle. This would be the first round 1 battle, and it seems like Boruto is going to lose it. I'm not sure about it yet, but this is round 1 of their battle. And moving forward, probably my favorite part so far, Sage Mode Naruto. Finally this is happening, and it's no one's guesses that why Naruto is using Sage Mode right here, because he is definitely searching for Boruto. Remember, in the last chapter, Boruto was sort of masking his chakra. I mean, not masking his chakra, but because of the side effects of the drugs and because Kawaki was not being able to found, he left the village in an attempt to save Kawaki, and Boruto knew that somehow or the other his father is going to be able to detect him, specifically using the Sage Mode. But I definitely feel like there's going to be more shenanigans involved in this equation, especially after reading what happens in the last part of this chapter. I feel like something grave is definitely about to happen, and despite using the Sage Mode, Naruto might not be able to actually find Boruto, and that's where Hinata might finally come into the picture. Because yes, in this chapter, along with Sage Mode Naruto, we also get to see Shikamaru, Hinata, Himawari, Ino and Nishi. Finally, Hinata. Finally. I just wonder if she's finally going to have maybe some sort of an important role. Otherwise, she has been delegated to the sidelines. I mean, it's just sad and disheartening to see Hinata in the Boruto era. Probably the biggest downgrade we have seen for any of the characters. So here's hoping to a better version or a better implementation of Hinata into the story. What if Naruto is unable to find Boruto in his current Sage Mode state, specifically because of the drugs which Amado gave to Boruto? They are sort of maybe masking his chakra, and that's why Hinata jumps into the scene using her Byakugan. Now, if anything, in the Boruto era, we have seen a sort of revival for the Byakugan. So what better way to utilize the Byakugan than by using the Byakugan princess herself in the form of Hinata? So what if she is going around the perimeter of Konoha in an attempt to save her child, just in a classic callback to the Pain Invasion era where she tried to save Naruto herself? That would be sort of a very cool parallel, and I'm really eager to watch that as well. Moreover, I'm going to talk about Sage Mode Naruto more later on, because I have a specific video, a very specific video coming up next for him that is going to be titled Beyond Sage Mode. Like, what can we expect with Naruto from here on? Because Sage Mode, okay, that is definitely very, very powerful, but now that he has a handicap, now that he has lost Kurama, I think that he's going to need a particular development moving down the road, and I feel like Sage Mode is definitely the correct path to move forward. So be sure to check out that video when it eventually drops on the channel. Moving forward, 24% of this chapter is dedicated to round 2 of Boruto vs Code. This time around, Boruto seems like in a disadvantageous situation because Kawaki is apparently captured. I'm still not able to understand how that happened. I mean, what was the magic that Code used this time around? Maybe these are some of the shenanigans provided by Ada, specifically because Ada seems to be very useful in this chapter, so maybe she somehow lured in Kawaki. I mean, she's obviously not going to be able to use her tactics because Kawaki definitely has the DNA of the Otsutsuki, but I'm just saying that maybe Ada used some of her tricks to, capture or help in the capture of Kawaki, and that might explain a lot of the shenanigans which are currently going on. Furthermore, in the last part of this chapter, which is the round 3, Boruto uses his normal as well as vanishing Rasengan against Code, and that is essentially the meat of this chapter. But the question arises here that what's next? What happens next? This chapter is definitely action packed and all, but what is going to happen next? And I think that the very last page could be the key, could be the answer. In the very last page of this chapter, Boruto is sort of clutching around his chest region. He's maybe clutching around his heart, and it seems like something is wrong with his body. And my immediate guess would be a side effect or an after effect of using the Byakugan suppressant drugs. It's evident, it was coming. We all knew that this was about to happen, even though I don't still believe that Amado is a typical quote-unquote major villain. I still feel like he's a separate character of his own. I've made a couple of videos in the past, you can watch out here to know more about the character of Amado, but definitely the drugs needed to have some sort of a disadvantage or a handicap, and that is exactly what is happening here. So this immediately leads us to the next question: what happens to this car? Boruto has fallen on the ground, and it seems like this is the perfect opportunity for Code to strike him. So in the next chapter, that is chapter 65, is Boruto going to get this car? That is the biggest question. So this is everything that we know about Boruto chapter 64. What do you guys think about all of these things? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today, guys. See you all on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to like, share and subscribe. Join the Discord server, join the channel membership. See you all on the next one.